Well, well, well. A fourth tax bracket, keeping the top bracket where it is, 39.6%. Ooh, that's interesting. Congressman Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, is with us. What do you think about that? Upper income people who already pay most of the tax don't get a tax cut. It stays at 39.6%. I gotta say, sir, that's not very stimulative. What do you say?
I agree it's not. We've always known that that would be a possibility in the negotiations, but the important thing to remember this morning is that the details are still not decided. There'll be a lot of discussion about that over the next couple of weeks. What we're excited about is the prospect of moving this process along quicker, and with the Senate acting on the budget last night, we've got an avenue now to be very aggressive with tax cuts and to try to achieve tax cuts for all Americans. We want to have an agenda for the working and middle class, but it shouldn't leave anyone out. Yeah,
look, I see the market right now. The stock market is up nearly 100 points again, and that's because of the likelihood of getting tax cuts fairly soon. Sure. But I got to go back to this fourth tax bracket and this insistence that it's just a middle-class tax cut. I mean, don't we want to put some of the money that's being swept into the Treasury back into the private sector economy? You don't do that by keeping tax rates where they are for upper income people who pay all of the taxes.
I certainly agree with that premise, Stuart, and because it's a lot of the wealthy folks, let's remember, who help create the jobs. It has to happen across the board for everyone. And I can tell you, I think there's a consensus, at least among Republicans in the House, that we have to do this fairly and across the board for everyone. We can pay for this with the economic growth that's going to be achieved by dramatically reducing taxes for all Americans. We don't need an agenda for the rich. We don't need an agenda for the poor. But if we have an agenda for working and middle-class Americans, I think all boats will rise and it will help everyone. But I think you've got to be very fair across the board.
Okay, Congressman, hold on a second. I've got a Democrat with me. Doug Schoen is his name. He's still a Democrat. He says he's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat.
And you want even bigger tax cuts that are being proposed.
Yeah,
tax cuts, I mean, more money out there.
Because, I do, and I think that to keep the rate at 39 when there's going to be the loss of the deductibility of state and local taxes will mean the rich in California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and other high tax states will be paying more in taxes. That's contrary to the logic of the plan. And frankly, Congressman, I don't think the plan will fly unless you do something about that.
Yes, Congressman, are you going to do something about it? This proposal, you take away the deduction for state and local taxes, that would hit a lot of people really hard. Are you going to get rid of that idea?
Well, no, I hope not. And I do think that we'll find a consensus that works for everyone. At the end of the day, we want everyone to have a reduction of their taxes. I think we can achieve that. Like I said, the devil's going to be the details. We have a lot of negotiations over the next couple of weeks. But I think the Ways and Means Committee in the House can begin marking up a bill perhaps in the next several days. And we'll begin to have these substantive debates about what all that looks like. But look, I agree with the premise. We want tax relief for all Americans. And I don't think you can treat upper class or the wealthy class, as they say, in disparate ways like that. I think you've got to, if you really want the economy to get going, everybody needs tax relief. And I think we're committed to that framework and that premise.